Good day once again. It's time for Indonesia. So after Malaysia, after Lumut, I took my bus back to Kuala Lumpur. I thought I was going to get there too late, but I had 3 hours at the airport, which is very typical. I think I said that I think I said this in the last video, but I'm not sure. I'm sorry if I'm being repetitive, by the way. But yeah, so I boarded my flight to Bali. I arrived at like 1 at night, and I took a scooter taxi, and I was like, yeah, okay, do you have a helmet? He was like, yeah, I have a helmet, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, fine. So then we walked over to the bike, and then I was like, where's the helmet? He was like, oh yeah, I lost it yesterday. And I was like, you told me I had a helmet. And he was like, I lost it. And I was like, fine, don't kill me. And he was like, yeah, I'll drive slow. So like with my big backpack on the front and me at the back, he brought me to my hostel. And then he was like, he didn't have change, supposedly, and he was like, yeah, just give me the money now and I'll bring the change tomorrow. And I was like, no, that's not gonna happen. So he ended up giving me $2 change, and I was like, what did you expect me to do with $2? But it was still better than nothing, so that's fine. So I stayed at Bed Bunkers Hostel, which turned out to have like a pool, which was great. And it's like just one room with like, I think it's 20 beds, and it looked a bit like a prison in a way, because it was like beds in the wall, like bunk beds in the wall, but it was very chilled. There was nothing to complain about. So that night I ended up meeting this Australian guy and hung out with him. It was very nice. And then the next morning he helped me get a scooter, which was very nice of him. And yeah, it was a great guy. We had a lot of like cool conversations and just hung out by the pool. And so the next day I rented a scooter for the day, for 2 days, and went up North Kuta to go visit Lars, a friend of mine from Holland, because he's doing a co-working project over there. And it was only 17 kilometers, but it took me like, I think an hour and a half to get there, because I got lost once again. Of course I did. But it was nice though. I got lost in like rice paddies and stuff like that. So the view was very nice, but it was very hot. And at some point I was so fed up, because like, the thing is, you have indications, or like people tell you, yeah, you just go there and then to the right. And then you have 2 rights, and you're like, oh, which one is it supposed to be? Or like the thingies that say like the beach is that way stop at some point, or they say beach in 300 meters, and then you drive for like 15 minutes, and then the same thing comes up again and says beach in 300 meters. So that was a bit frustrating, but I finally got there an hour and a half too late, and had lunch with Lars, which was very nice. It was really cool to catch up with him. And I was actually just planning to stay there for lunch, but I ended up going out to dinner with him and like everybody at the co-worker place, mostly Dutchies, but it was very nice people, very interesting people. Ended up staying there 2 days. We went surfing. There weren't great waves. Like, I had 2 awesome waves. Sorry about that. I had 2 awesome waves, but the first one, I almost killed someone. And the second one, it was like, Lars was just in front of me, and I was like, or I catch my wave and don't kill Lars, and kill Lars, or I don't kill Lars. Sorry to announce that Lars no longer lives. No, I'm just kidding. So I jumped off my board and I didn't get my wave, but it was fine. We had a lot of fun. We got burned though, all of us. So that was a bit painful. But it was a very, very chill day. And then at night we just hung out somewhere like on beanbags and chit-chatted. So yeah, it was very interesting to meet those people. It was very nice to catch up with them. And this is all on Bali, of course. Bali is a very, very big island. Very touristy. I wasn't really planning on staying there, but it turned out to be great. Like, the moment you go up north and like a bit out of the center, you have very nice views and, like, as I said, rice paddies. So after 2 days I had to go back to Kuta, which is in the south, to give back my scooter. And then I went out with some people I'd met at the hostel, and then I met some British guys who were very, very nice. And I ended up spending the next day with them at the beach. We went to the beach, and there were like huge waves, like proper huge waves, like, oh, very, very strong. Like, we were filled with sand, and like we would like go under a wave and go like, is everyone okay? Is everyone okay? It was really cool. Got burnt again, by the way, because after that we went to a pool party, so we spent the whole day in the sun. It was the first time I put sunscreen on during my trip, but it didn't help. But yeah, it was really nice staying with them, spend the whole day together. Then we went out, but 2 of us like were properly burnt, so we ended up going to bed at like 10 while the others went partying, which was nice. It was fine. I got some sleep, read my book. I'm reading this awesome book, by the way, about feminism, of course, but if anybody has time to read it, it's called The Fictional Woman by Tara Moss, an ex-supermodel. So yeah, read that. It's very interesting. Even though you don't consider yourself a feminist, it's good to know those facts. It's a very good book, very well written, so I'm counting on you. Anywho, after that, yeah, I went to Gili'S the next day, and technically this would be for another movie video, but I'm gonna do it now. Yeah, I'm gonna do it now. I'm gonna do, so Bali, Gili'S, and Gili'S in one video. Sorry if this is taking too long for you guys, but yeah. Anyway, so after that, I went to Gili'S. I arrived there. I met 2 American guys on the boat, and I didn't really have a place to stay yet in Gili'S, so I just followed them around, like, because they had already booked a hostel. It was a super cute hostel with, like, it looked like Peter Pan huts, and they had, like, a chill area upstairs and sweet colors, and, like, the people that worked there, the locals, they were so sweet, so that was great. And I stayed there for 1 night, or 2 nights actually, met nice people, and then the next day, the British guys I had met in Kura came to Gili'S as well, and I ended up, like, I was planning on sleeping on the beach with my hammock and blah blah blah, but I ended up just, like, I dumped my stuff there, and I ended up sleeping with them for, like, a week in their bungalows. It turned out to be, like, a group of 11 British guys, like, all different, like, groups matched together. I mostly spent my days with the 3 I had met in Bali, though, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was really holiday-like. We didn't do much. We'd watch movies sometimes. I know, great backpackers, eh? But I also, like, went around the island with this French guy I met, Charlie. Very, very interesting guy. He taught me how to skin fish, which was awesome. Like, we skinned fish one evening with the 2 American guys I'd met on the boat, him and this other girl from the hostel. So, like, properly, like, cut it, like, empty it out. It was awesome. My hands smelled like fish for, like, proper 2 days after, though, which was not very, very nice, but it was fine. It was a great experience, and I'm happy I know how to do that now. So that's cool. Walked around the island a lot. Went snorkeling. We saw an awesome turtle, like a big turtle, and yeah, like beautiful fish. Like in the beginning, I was like, oh, I'm gonna count how many different fish I can see, but I like at some point I just gave up because there were so many, and they were so beautiful, like all the colors you can think of. Not red though, which is like Bordeaux, but not red. But it was amazing. Like all shapes, sizes. You had like some very elegant ones. You had some very like funny ones because they were like very thin and then like with tiny little flipper thingies. So that I really enjoyed that day. However, my buttocks got proper burnt. So yeah, every time I would sit for the following 2 days, it would hurt like hell. But it was a great day. Yeah, Gili'S is you have like the Gili Islands. So you have 3. You have Gili'S, Gili Travagan, Gili Meno, and Gili'S. Gili'S is like the biggest one and the most touristy one. With biggest one, I mean you can walk around the island in an hour and a half. And I was planning on staying there for 2 days, ended up staying for a week, so I got stuck there. But it was very nice, even though it was touristy. It was not as touristy as like Koh San Road in Bangkok, for example, so that was fine. Met a lot of nice people, yeah, had like a great time there. And yesterday, I took a boat with 2 of the English guys, and we came to Gili'S, which is a smaller island, and yeah, a lot chiller actually. I wish I would have come here earlier because it's a bit like Chiang Mai and Pai. Like Chiang Mai was very nice, and then Pai was like awesome, like the place to get stuck in. Gili'S here is like the place to get stuck in. However, I'm only staying here for 2 days. But yeah, like all the Gili Islands, you're not allowed to have any like motor stuff. So like the only things as transport that you have here is like, well, your feet obviously, and then charts with horses, carts, whatever, yeah, and bikes, so you can bike around. It's very nice. It's like not that developed, which I like a lot. There's a lot of nature, a lot of palm trees, beautiful water, like clear blue water. So yeah, we got here yesterday. We're sleeping in a bungalow thing. Technically, I'm sleeping across in a hammock, but yeah, difference. I saw shooting stars yesterday, and I was very, very happy. Like, I got my hammock yesterday, and it's beautiful. I'm so in love with it, like honestly, best thing ever. So I'm very excited to use it more. Might sleep in that today as well. And yeah, today we just went for some food, and then they went snorkeling and I walked around the island. So this one I could walk around in 1 hour instead of an hour and a half. And yeah, they're very chilled people here. So yeah, I definitely advise the Gili Islands, and it's a lot less touristy, a lot calmer. We have some hens here, like cooing 24/7, and we have the mosque right across, which we can hear the whole time. I'm sorry about my fats, by the way. But yeah, it's awesome here, and I'm really enjoying my time. Yeah, so that was that for Bali and the Gili Islands. Yeah, see you next time. Bye-bye.